This is an emergency broadcast.
People can never know about this. If they do, we will lose all control and chaos will ensue.
Our civilization isn't the first one. It's just the most recent one. The world as we know it will come to a violent end, and another civilization will start again. As a matter of fact, this was published in a book in the 1960s. But the scariest part, as soon as the book was published, it got classified by the CIA.
Let me guess. Later we got redacted version that didn't tell us jack shit. Sound like the guy on the island.
You're not far off. Tonight, we're diving into the Adam and Eve story, a theory made famous by Dr. Chan Thomas and the terrifying claims that shook up the CIA enough to make the book classified. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss this one. Dr. Chan Thomas was an engineer and a speculative author. He published the Adam and Eve story, The History of Cataclysms, in the early 1960s. Despite the biblical name, this was not a religious book. Thomas used Adam and Eve symbolically as stand-ins for humanity after each global reset. His claim was simple and terrifying. Advanced human civilizations have existed before us, and each one was destroyed by a sudden planetary catastrophe. According to Thomas, what we call myths, such as ancient floods, fire from the sky, and the world turning upside down, are not fiction. They are distorted memories passed down by survivors who didn't have the language to describe what actually happened.
So it's okay when the survivors have sketchy memories. But when the witness in my court case had the same thing, I get hit with friggin' witness tampering?
Too much information for this channel, big guy. The book attracted little attention when it was released. Then, decades later, people discovered that parts from the book appeared in the CIA reading room documents, sanitized, declassified, and mostly redacted. That was all it took for the theory to explode online. Not because the CIA endorsed it, they did it, but because people asked a dangerous question: why classify the book at all? At the heart of Thomas's theory is the idea that Earth experiences repeating, civilization-ending cataclysms on a cycle measured by thousands of years, not millions, not random, a ticking clock. He pointed to ancient flood myths across cultures that supposedly never interacted. He pointed to sudden collapses in archaeology that seemed too fast to be explained by slow decline. And he pointed to mysterious ancient engineering that looks out of place in our timeline. Believers argue this isn't coincidence, it's memory.
Look, human. You primitive creatures don't understand. You just can't play with nature, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's the counter-argument, but Thomas went further. He claimed these resets are triggered by catastrophic pole shifts, and this is where things get confusing and controversial. When scientists talk about pole shifts, they usually mean geomagnetic reversals, the magnetic field slowly flipping over thousands of years. Thomas was not describing that. He described something far more violent, a sudden displacement of the Earth's crust. In Thomas's version, the planet's outer shell slips rapidly, dragging oceans and atmosphere with it. Winds reach supersonic speeds. Oceans race over continents. Entire civilizations are erased overnight.
Okay. I ain't no punk. But that just scared the living daylights out of me, pal.
And that's exactly why this idea is still alive. If true, no technology, no military, no border matters. Everything gets destroyed in a matter of hours. Almost everyone dies, and the world as we know it is gone. Thomas believed these events were predictable. He suggested a rough interval, thousands of years, between resets. Once people hear that, they start doing what humans generally do. They start counting. Online forums, videos, and social media began mapping Thomas's ideas over modern fears: the weakening magnetic field, the climate instability, and the increased seismic activity. The narrative became simple. The signs are everywhere, and the warning, well, it's already written. The biggest driving force for the theory is the fact that a lot of pages in Thomas's book were redacted and never released, so people naturally freaked out.
There is a secret page! There is always a secret friggin' page!
Yes, there is. And that's what keeps the theory alive. Over time, the Adam and Eve theory fused with other ideas, lost civilizations like Atlantis, ancient advanced technology, and the belief that humanity is far older than what mainstream history admits. In this view, history isn't linear, it's cyclical. Civilizations rise, fall, and are forgotten. Survivors rebuild, myths replace memory, and eventually, it happens again. But is this story really true? This theory exploded in the modern internet age because it compresses perfectly in a redacted CIA document, Ancient Apocalypse, the Coming Reset. It does not need proof. All it needs is vibes. Here's what science actually says. Yes, the Earth's magnetic field does reverse. That is real. But the evidence shows these reversals take thousands of years and do not cause sudden global destruction. Compasses get confused, radiation exposure increases, but civilization does not die overnight. There is no accepted geological evidence that Earth's crust can suddenly slip as a single unit and reset civilization globally. Plate tectonics move, and sometimes violently, but not like Thomas described. And the CIA document does not validate the theory. It simply shows the book existed in government files. Most scientists classify Thomas's work as speculative or pseudoscientific.
Human, you are biggest schmuck alive. The CIA says it ain't true. And you bought that line.
Exactly. But here's the honest part. Science doesn't know everything. Earth has produced sudden catastrophes before. Human civilization is fragile. Myths often preserve echoes of real disasters. Is there evidence of repeating scheduled global reset? No. Is it impossible that rare, high-impact planetary events shaped human history more than we understand? Also no. And that's why the story refuses to die. Because even if the details are wrong, the fear is real.
So let me get this right. You're telling me not to panic. But you're also telling me I might have to panic? Makes sense, man.
That's exactly right. We live on a beautiful planet. We should be thankful to have such a beautiful place to call home. But if Dr. Chan Thomas was right, then enjoy every second of it, because the end of the world as we know it is overdue. That's going to do it for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed hanging out with us, please hit subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment. It really helps the channel grow, and it feeds the big guy's ego.
That's right, buddy. Feed my ego or I'm gonna feed on you.
As always, I'm your host, Adam. That's Mr. Bear. Till next time, be good or be good at it.